Okay, it's making the connection. And from there, you will connect it to the other side, right?
Yeah, I'll pick it up from there, yeah.
Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the New York session. This is about the fourth session for the day that we're doing live. If you were with
your
us,
session yet.
Yep, it's live already, I think, on YouTube. So to our YouTube viewers, if any one of you join us, this is kind of impromptu as well. We didn't manage to come on this morning, but we were on this afternoon. I can see somebody is there. Zahib is there. I don't know how many more of the traders will join because we're doing this pretty random. So great, who joined? Let's go. So if this morning, if you watch the video we put out this morning, I had some trades identified. We're going to start with those trades and what we did with them, right? So let's start with the silver sell. You should still be in the silver sell. It's a good trade. It's going really good now, right? So I think we could get a drop like this, and that would be an amazing trade. We're breaking out of the bigger structure. I took off the trade line, but we're pretty much breaking out of the bigger structure. Watch it to come and retest this low. If there's going to be any deeper pullback like this, we would see the stop. We'd see the consolidation kind of a pullback. We'll exit this trade, and we will go for the next trade to the upside. Right now, the sell is good. This one, we didn't get the trade, but you notice this one is not dropping really fast. And the reason we didn't put this sell is because we're still in this. We're still in this consolidation. And there's not really a perfect sell setup in this impulse. So we decide to skip the sell, and if it should break out, we'll go with the buy. Now, if it should break out, you should put the buy here now. Should it break out, we'll buy. So we can leave this as a buy simply because, well, you don't have a perfect sell setup. If it should stop and go back, we want the buy, and we will exit the silver sell. Euro, sell setup, perfect. That's the trade, that's a stop. You're going good. If you took the trade, you're doing well. If you put your stop here, no problem. Watch it when it breaks this low. That's when you start to want to take profit and watch to see how far they can go. Remember, we can come a little lower than that before we start the up move. If you took the pound, you got bonus because we weren't planning on this bonus. Like I said, when it breaks this low, that's when you start watching it for your profit, right? So if you took it, the trade was taking it here, putting a stop here and going for this trade. So you're pretty much doing well. And it looks like it's going to go more. So if I didn't take this one, I took the silver and not the euro, but some of the yen pairs. But if you took this, you pretty much are doing well. You should not close it. I would not have closed it if I was in it, right? So let's go. Aussie, we didn't have anything. We were thinking that this could turn for a buy. It didn't turn. We don't have the buy. This sell here was useless. This was exactly where we were this morning. It's here. We don't have a flag to sell here. We had this one. So I still think at some point we either get a turn or we get a flag for a sell, right? So we would either get this for a sell setup or we will get that trade, right? So we don't have anything. We didn't miss anything. I'm only looking back at trades and trade setups we have. We're not doing the webinar. The webinar is recorded already. Yeah. This one is the same thing. We were here this morning. We can't sell it unless we get a flag, right? Or unless they turn to go back up, which means they give us a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If we're going to make a 1, 2, 3, well, yes, we'll go with that for a running flat. As of now, I don't think we have anything. Another thing we should be careful of is if we actually get one sharp move here, we'll take the trade. We'll go with a running flat here, right? It's not a perfect running flat because remember, this one is outside the range, but we'll still go with it if it makes one sharp move. So look for turning points today or wait for flags. Flags are 6 hours from now. Turning points are the only thing you will probably get within the next 3 hours. Yen, the buy is still valid. If you want to buy, you can put an entry order in this one here now. If you bought this one on Friday, I think that was Friday, yesterday, if you bought that, perfect. You're getting a buy setup here now. You can put an entry. Remember, we're going to break that top. You can put an entry above the top here. This one didn't break the lows yet. When it breaks the low, then you can move it down. But for now, above the top to break this top. I think we'll get there. CAD, we're waiting for a sell setup on the CAD. If it should pull back, a flag here. This was the buy. We're waiting to see whether that would give it down. It's still going up. You can buy. Right? The only thing you can do is if they give you a downside. If CAD could literally go a lot more up. You would need a flag for that. Right? Potentially, remember, we're in that daily structure and we're going to the top here. Right? There's no questions. This one is going to take off. Now, once you get that flag above the top here, they're taking off to come to this top. So I think we'll get to that top, and when we get there, there's a chance that we're going to be breaking out, but you're not going to go in one single move, right? So this one, we started the buy from here, that didn't go well. Then this one didn't go well. We had a few buys in there, but once it break out here, it starts to move. So when it gets here, before it gets there, you could probably get some correction here, buy, correction, buy. Then we will see if it breaks out or if they come back down. I'm not expecting it to come back down. I expect it to break out. So we could be looking for a pretty big move to the upside, which means take all the flags you get. Right? This is pretty easy. Take all the flags you get. So we'll change this to, well, we're still waiting for a flag to buy now. Right? Euro CAD, we wanted a flag to buy. Let's see. Yep, you should be in the trade already. Actually, we had the flag here. We put the end shorter, and this should be an active buy. My fault not changing it, but we actually put the end shorter. You're getting a consolidation here. And on the 1 hour, this is where you make your decision. You can close that trade here and put an entry here. Once it comes back to the top, close, put an entry here. Because there's a good chance this thing just works its way back to the bottom here and then go. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And you don't really have to live through that, right? We discussed that today in our trading room as one of the things we spoke about. Take a chance, close it there, put an entry above the top. See? And remember the numerous amount of examples we showed how it is good if you put the entry, and if you don't close it, how bad it can become. So I think we should do that. There is a possibility for running flat to farm here. If it goes, it goes. It doesn't go, you're not worried about it. So we'll put that as an active trade. Euro Swiss. Yep, we have the entry here, but it's useless. It's not going anywhere. Let's see if we get a flag here, then we'll take it. Euro New Zealand, we put for a sell. We're waiting for a sell setup. Why do I have it as an active sell? That's not right. We were waiting for a sell, I think. There is no active sell. This is the top. There's no active trade in it. The active trade was if we wanted to buy this. We're looking for a sell setup. So that's my fault. We should put sell setup. So what we're looking for is a move back down like this. So take this out. At some point, it doesn't have to be exactly now, but at some point, if we get a flag, we buy, but we're buying with a lot of caution. Right? So if this makes another flag here, we'll take the trade, but we'll take it for like one impulse up. Right? Not a very win because we still don't have this. So at some point it starts to go down, make a flag, we're selling back to the bottom. Now, just in case, you might think, well, whether that is going to happen or not. And we have a lot of new traders in here who might not know that. It actually happened. It's two things are going to happen here. We get this running flat, or we actually come back all the way to the bottom. So this is extremely sharp. We were thinking of this running flat earlier, and that's a perfect running flat until you get this. We may or may not get anything for this because this by itself could be a correction. It doesn't need to go with a running flat. If it's going to be a running flat, it's going to be a much bigger running flat in the future after this one is finished. So after we get this, we could still go back up and still get one more down, and then we'll just get all of this into one big running flat for upside. So right now, I think, and we have a lot of divergence here as well to support that. So we're looking for a move to the downside. If you're going to get any buy setup here, you'll take it with a lot of caution in it, right? Let's see. Any reversal and a sell, take it. I'll say wait for a flag to sell. Euro Oz, on the other hand, was a buy. I remember we said we needed to break this top. I think yesterday when we were live, somebody asked me the question whether this is going to drop, and I was like, nope, you want to be careful. It's going to break the top. Oh, somebody was asking me if it come back here, and I said, well, let it break the top first. And now you start to look for that downside. So now if it consolidates, it's a buy, but it's a very short buy. But once we broke that up, the chances of this coming back deeper is pretty strong. So we'll see, is it going to come or not? We don't know, but that we just have a very good chance of it coming. So wait there, go to the 1 hour, wait for an impulse down, wait for a flag, sell. We don't have that as yet. We don't have anything like that. As a matter of fact, this looks like a small consolidation for one more up. So we'll wait. We can actually put it for both ways and wait now. Now the euro, we didn't have anything in the euro, and it broke the top and it's coming back, so great. It's not ready for the downside, that we need to break this top. Swiss, pound Swiss, buy setup, you can actually wait until it comes a little lower and still a buy. So let this come break the low here, and then we put the entry here for the buy. Still a buy. Waiting for a flag to buy. I think if this makes a flag here, go for one more trade up, and then we'll start to look for the downside, but at least one more up. Concat, wait for a sell setup. Let it make a top, let it come down. We want it to come one here, make a flag, and then we go for that trade. So we don't have a sell setup, we're just waiting for it. We don't have any right now. Aussie Swiss. This sell is still valid. If you come here in the 15, you can see it's making a flag, so that's still a valid sell setup here. It'll probably take longer than I think. They may come here and go back up and then drop, keep a stop here. Right, because there's a very good chance that you make a flat in here, 1, 2, 3, go back there, make this, and then drop. So keep your eyes on this one. Let's go Aussie CAD. We were looking for a buy based on this going up, but you get a sell first. Okay, this morning we had this small flag here, this very small flag here. And that could have been a buy, but then it came down, it go back up. That's a flat. This is one more drop and then probably upside. So change the buy to a sell. It's an active sell, but a very short one. So I'll take this up. I don't want that to confuse you. Take off the buy from here, put this sell here. One more drop, and then we look for the upside. So it's probably going to come here and then drop like that, and then we look for the buy side. So go for the sell. Aussie yen, we were looking for a sell setup. Selling under the low here is the bad idea. That's not a sell, that is a low. So wait for a flag somewhere. We don't have any flag in here, but wait for a flag, and the sell is a good idea. Wait, this will make a flag, and then if the sell is a great idea. Aussie New Zealand, it's still a buy. It's not going anywhere, so it's kind of still a buy setup when they break out. At least one more up like that, and then probably come back down and then go back up, and then all of this will drop. Right, I think we can see the core correction here, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's all about the core correction. We did this today in the class, right? How patterns can change when you find the core correction. So this one is pretty good. The bigger picture is downside. This is amazing. All our traders doing the course class right now, you should track this one. Track the development, so you're going to see how you count when you find the core correction. How to start looking at the pattern, the development of the pattern when you find it, right? So let's assume for now that this is it. I think that would not be a bad assumption. That pretty much be an easy assumption. And now you track the development for the sell, the bigger sell. There's going to be a buy, a sell, and a buy, but after that is a bigger sell. So you track it, keep track of it, and then we'll see how that develops. New Zealand Swiss, we're looking for a buy setup also. We're waiting for this. This was a sell here. There would a sell would have been here. It's actually giving you another sell. So we go for the sell first, change this to a sell. Yep, that's a sell. You're getting a flag here. So this should be a sell setup. I'll take this out and I'll put it here, right? So we go for one more sell, one more drop. This will go back up. It's just making one more low. Bigger picture in the daily is upside. And we're pretty low on that, right? So see, this is coming down quite a lot. We still have this to get, and big picture, I still think, we're pretty much at the bottom. So at some point we start going back up. I think we broke the low, for that matter of fact. And this is sharp, unless we want to put this with something in the past. Let's see. The weekly looks, oh, there's a lot of sharp waves there. So we're pretty much at a very, very, very low point here. If we're to look at it like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's hard to tell which part you're going to look at as a correction here. But we notice that every time they come pretty low, right? Every time you come to the low or you break the low, you tend to go back up. This one would have to at some point go back up. Either back to that top and then drop, or totally go back up. So since this is the lowest point, total upside is pretty good. So every sell you take there, you have to take it. It doesn't mean you can't go. It can go about 1,000 pip lower. I was just looking at the monthly chart. So this could go about 1,000 pip lower before it actually goes up. But every sell you're taking with caution, because internally there's a lot of smaller waves like this one, right? That needs to fulfill. So it could drop here, go back there, and still drop lower. Let's see if we get it. You're selling this with a lot of caution, but the buy would be amazing. And let's see if we get that. New Zealand cat. Yeah, it actually dropped. I don't think we're looking for a sell. We're waiting for it to break this low so that we can get the buy set up. This is not going up now. It's definitely going to go back up this way. And this is going to go back up this way. We're going to have a bigger flat. This one, we'll have to decide where we put that. Why is this here now? Okay, how do we delete this? Let me just refresh this page. That thing is disturbing. I don't know what that is and how I'll have to try to figure out how to delete it. Okay, it's gone. That's good enough. Let's go back to the 1 hour. Yep. Look for the sell and then we look for the buy. Come on, what's happening to my charts? It's kind of freezing up. New Zealand cat. Oh, here is where it is. I don't know what that is. Let me see. Okay, I'll figure out how to remove it later. It's kind of blocking everything. So we're looking for a buy setup. It's probably going to go back here, maybe come back here and go back there. We might get a bigger flat here and then downside. So assume that you're getting a buy setup here now, forming already. New Zealand yen, take off this. I'll take that off because that would be more of a buy. Okay, guys, sorry, the charts froze up. So yeah, this is a sell setup. I spoke in details about this chart selling from the top, coming to break the low. We're tracking it very closely. If you're not in the traders yet, wait for a flag, get in the trade. What's up with the charts? So you wait for this to actually make a flag here and get in the trade to break this low. That would be your next trade. So let's see, tomorrow we'll get that. Kadian? Yep, sell setup. It actually went up, it's dropping. The sell setup would be, I'm not sure. Let me see in the 15 if that was a good flag. Yeah, that was a good flag to sell in the 15. And the 15, you can sell this 2 ways, either under this low or that flag. The flag would be the one you'd sell, a small running flat there. A small running flat here would be your sell setup. If you took that trade, amazing. If you didn't take it, wait for another correction, sell. Swiss yen would be the same thing. Okay, guys, for some reason these charts are freezing up now. So Swiss yen, we broke the top. It's coming down. Wait for a flag, sell. Right now, there's a good chance that this, and remove all these things in the chart. I don't know why I've got it there. There's a good chance that this comes to the bottom here and go back up one more. We'll be looking at a possible running flat here. But if you get a flag here, sell it, because if it drops to the bottom, this would be the top. Right now, I think that is making a bigger flat, like a 1, 2, 3 here, a 1, 2, 3 here, and then go back up. There's still a sell setup probably. And CAD Swiss, we had a buy setup waiting for a flag for the buy setup. Okay, it's gonna drop one more. You probably can sell this, but I wouldn't, because there's a good chance it's just do this and start going back up. All right, we're looking at this as a 1, 2, possibly 3. 1, 2, 3, and then back up to the top before it eventually drops. So this eventually has to go back up. We just have to wait for that. It's a big correction in the 4 hour. See, 1 hour, 4 hours, a big correction. And this seems to be like the core correction right now at the moment. So coming here and then going back up there, come back here and go back there. That'd be a perfect flat for downside. Normal, perfect flat. So at the bottom here, sell is a bad idea. Wait for it to go back to the top and then sell, or make a big flag enough for you to sell. US oil, we're looking for a sell. What's happening to these charts, man? Sorry about that, guys. We're there. Yeah, we're looking for a sell setup. If you sell it here, you did well. If not, wait for a flag. So we wanted it to go to the top there and then turn for the downside, and it's a big move to the downside, as you can see. Okay, let me see if I can refresh it if that would help, but something is going crazy with these charts. So let's go back. US oil. We're in the US oil. Good. Okay, finally did. Expecting this to come back to the bottom here like this one. So all you need is a flag somewhere here for the trade. So wait for this to make a flag here and then get that trade to the bottom. Any flag would work. And it's a pretty good trade. You don't want to miss it. All right. So let's see. I think we would put this one here as an expanding, not a contracting flat, but an expanding flat. All right, this here would be more of an expanding flat here. Because you got a 1, 2, 3 perfect, and then it just took off. So wait for a flag sell. S&P 500. Sell setup. Actually, you had a flag. You could have put an entry here or wait for this to make a flag. And then enter the last input, so wait for this, because that turned out to be the flag we're waiting for. US 30 is the same thing. Or wait for another flag. This one, you didn't get a flag, you have to wait. And it's pretty much at the bottom already. So unless you get a flag here now for this trade, it wouldn't be worth it, because if they come here, I'll just let them do this and then we look for the buy. This is an upside move. So when it comes and it breaks the low, we definitely, I think all of you remember this trade, right? So we'll look for a trade to the upside when it comes to the low, if it comes to the low immediately. All right, NASDAQ, come on. Okay, the reason we didn't sell this is because you're very close to this low. If you put a line like this, you can see. Let them break it and see if we make flags to go, because at this point, you can just break this low and turn to the upside. So there's no sell setup that I really like at the bottom there. Tesla, sell, let's see. Yep, the sell is working good. It came to the top, the sell was either here or under the low, and it still could go somewhere. Now we want to be careful of is that if this is going to turn into 1, 2, 3 upside. If it starts to make a flag here, buy it. If not, they will drop, 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 and then we look for a buy setup. This is if you trade cryptos. This one had a good buy setup forming right now, and this one had a good buy setup forming. It doesn't mean the rest of them don't have, but these broke the lows, and there are buy setups in them. What we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the cryptos we have. We're going to look at, I think silver just pretty much dropped a lot. Yep, silver just went down some more. So good. Pong also went down some more. That is good if you're in those trades. So let's go. Those are the trades we took this morning. Those were the trades we looked at this morning, the trades that were actually valid and the trade setups we were looking for. So every time we come back live in here, we look at those first. Because those are the active trades that we have, active trades and active trade setups. And the rest that doesn't have anything in them, we would look at those now to see whether there's a setup in it right now. And if there's a setup, we'll put the trades on, right? So basically, you have an idea how we work. We do this 3, 4, 5 times a day, sometimes more. The traders are there before I come in the room. They're there when I left the room trading. So if you're part of the group, you get access to that for lifetime for free. Complimentary access to the trading room 24/7 for free for the rest of your life. Now, if you get an offer like that with any other group that actually trades live, great, take it. There's none outside here that will do 5 live sessions a day where they're actually doing like we do, taking the trades, identifying the trades, taking the trades, and following up on them step by step. We do it. If you would like to join the group, send me a Skype message. The Skype is in the description of every one of my videos. If you don't have Skype, it will take you 2 minutes to download. Send me a Skype message and you'll get all the details of how you can join the group and how you can join the installment program. I promise you guys at the end of this week, we'll tell you more about the installment program and we'll give you an offer. We did the offer once and it helps. So we'll do the offer for you again if you stick on to the end of the week. Let's go. Which one we didn't look at? Dollar index. Somebody was saying we didn't look at. Well, dollar index up. It's going up. So while it was at the bottom here, we were saying if it drops from this to go through, you put this sell here. We didn't put the buy, but the buy should have been here. Well, we don't trade the dollar index. All the other trades had thing in them, right? We didn't trade the dollar index. But if you were trading it, if you were trading it and you saw this flag here, then the buy to break that up is valid. Right now, dollar index will probably come and retest. I think I spoke about that this morning. Oh, come on, man, what's wrong with this now? Yeah, it's getting a little annoying. Charts are freezing up for whatever reason. Maybe I'm on too long, all day working. So yeah, this will probably get to the top there. So any flag you start to get here that makes sense to buy to the top, and then from there we're going to complete the daily running flat. We should be going down. Big picture of this is downside. Don't lose sight of that when you're buying, because most traders who do not understand wave analysis get themselves caught up in we're in an uptrend and we're in a downtrend, and and by the time they figure out which trend they're in, the move is finished. So while this was going down, traders were thinking, well, we're in a downtrend and we should be selling all over here. And then they were like, okay, well, somewhere here now we're in an uptrend, let's start buying here and buying here. And then it starts to drop. And some traders are still trying to buy pullback, buy these pullback and buy that pullback. Instead, they should be selling. And that's a difference of what wave analysis does. It shows you the patterns to give you a clear idea of what could be. And knowing what could be makes you trade differently, right? If you know things, you behave differently from if you don't know things. It's a very simple explanation. Still, traders don't get that. When we look at the charts and we said there's a possibility for an up move and a possibility for a down move, what we're telling you is that there are more than one variable of patterns creating right now. And because we don't have all the pieces, we don't know which one of those patterns are going to happen. But we can tell you clearly that if this pattern is going to form, then this is what is going to happen, and this is how we're going to trade it. And if another pattern is going to form, this is what is going to happen, and that is how we're going to trade that. So there are different things that needs to happen to create different patterns. And then we decide how we trade it. That's the power of the knowledge you have. If you have no idea how it's going to move, if you truly believe the charts are random and you cannot predict anything, then you probably shouldn't trade it. Traders who say that still trade. And I don't know why, because if you can't, it's like saying, I really don't know to swim, but you see that river that is moving very fast? I'm going to take a dive into it. I'll figure it out when I get in there. It's pretty stuff. It's a moving stream of water, and I don't know how to swim, but I'll figure myself once I get into there. We believe you should learn to swim properly. And if you're going to swim against a tide or moving water, you better learn to swim against moving water as well before you take the dive in. So we believe that if you learn to understand how the chart is going to move, if you understand the patterns clearly, if you have a very deep understanding of how they behave and how you're going to take advantage of it, then you have a right to dive in and go for it. But just diving in without knowing what it's going to do, believing it's random, thinking you can't predict it, well, then what's the whole point of doing it? You can't predict it means you don't know what you're doing. You don't know if it's going to go up, you don't know if it's going to go down, then you shouldn't be buying or selling it. Right? But if you have a clear idea, you have an edge, you have something that predicts the market for you, tool that says, hey, there's a probability and it's on your side for buy. Well, then you have a chance at it. See the difference? One is you're trading with knowledge, the other is you're just guessing your way. We like to trade with knowledge. So let's go. Which else? We didn't look at the CAD, there's Swiss, and let's see what it's doing right now. If my charts would not freeze, I would probably be able to do it faster. But it's freezing, yeah. So we're at the bottom here. This was a low. Let me take that out. Take this out. Let's see where we are. We broke this low. That's the first thing you want to look at. You can see the lines showing you the patterns that I have. Oh my, this is taking too long. I just hate when they freeze up so long. So you can see the way we're looking at this. We're thinking that all of this that looks like a mess is actually well organized if you look at it the right way. And because this is the highest point and this is the lowest point, we're coming from here to here with all these pullback in it, then we're probably making a corrective structure. And because we came into that structure this way, we would have to go out of that structure that way. That's the most common pattern you're going to find in the charts. For some reason, it always works 80% and 90% of the time. So we're going to come to the bottom here and we're going to look for buy setups. Right? This was a pretty deep pullback. I think we broke the low. Not pullback, sorry, we broke the low and then started the up move. See this here? We broke the low here, then started that up move. This is the corrective structure. It's making another one in here. Pretty much we were expecting this to drop one more like this and then go up, but it's going up already. So we need to go to the 1 hour and see what it looks like. Why we didn't break the low and we're going up. Come on. Yep, so we'll put it like this because we didn't break the low, we broke the top. Pretty much it's not an impulsive move as yet. So I would be careful of trying to buy at the top there. If I'm going to buy this, it has to break through this and make a flag. Then I'll consider a buy. From here, there's a good chance we're going to repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we're going to literally drop through the bottom very far. Right? Can we drop through this bottom here again? Well, not impossible. Not very unlikely, but not impossible. I would most likely think that if we're going to drop, we will treat this as 1, 2, 3, and then go. Something like this. This could be a leading diagonal into the pattern. This could be a flat and one more. Is it a complete flat? Well, you can make an argument for that in the 15. Let's see. What I'm looking for is the B part of it to see if it makes sense. Yep, definitely makes sense. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If we're going to buy this again, it has to break through at least the last impulse and make a flag before we buy. Right now, there possibly is going to give you a sell, but that would be very short term. A sell that might just bring you back to here before they go. So you can either wait for that and then get this straight to the upside or try to see if we can get that sell. Euro pound. No trade. I can tell you right now, no trade, but the charts are frozen too. This is a headache. So we don't have any trade set up here. We're getting some consolidation at this moment here. I don't like this consolidation for a sell because we have 1, 2, 3. And you get a flat there. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. And then we're going to go. I think we can clearly see that that's a possibility, right? Yep, euro should break the last low. And euro yen, it could make another flag before it break, but it could also go and break immediately. Euro yen, wait for a flag, sell. We did break that top, but we didn't break this top. I still think they have to break that top before we turn to the downside. Otherwise, we're still in consolidation. See? Unless we break that top before we go down, we're still in consolidation. So there's a sell setup, but most likely you'll need to break this low. So we put it like this, and I would be looking at a possible running or expanding flat, depends on how low this goes. And then this should probably go up. So maybe we skip the sell. It's not going to be, unless you get a really, really nice flag, like, I mean, you get something like this here, then probably give it a try to see if it becomes an expanding flat. I think there's one more up, and then we'll look for the downside. This would unlikely be the one that drops through the bottom, but take the trade. Worst case is you're going to get a break even, right? Pound New Zealand. We're waiting for this to start and drop a little more, make a flag, complete these structures we have there. Come down here. You can just push this a little. You push all of them a little like this one here. Still waiting for a flag here. I think it's going to come. This is an incomplete pattern. So I think eventually it completes itself. I'm just going to move them a little more every time the chart goes. Structurally, we're not looking for it to change. Time-wise, it's just getting bigger. And then this goes up. So we're expecting something like this. And this needs to come down, go back, come down, then take off. Let's see if we get that. And Pong Yen. Just in case you're wondering, what are those arrows there? That was the Pound New Zealand, I assumed. Yep, that was the Pound New Zealand. Come on, just thing is freezing up. Sorry guys, I've been on all day, so the charts. If you're wondering what all these arrows, this started from this point. This was the first arrow before anything happened. This was the second arrow before anything happened. We likely had it. We had it like this, but we had to extend it. The extension is not irrelevant. The extension is not a problem. That's irrelevant to the pattern itself. That's how much you think the wave is going to go. It doesn't necessarily have to come here. It could stop here, and that would be okay. It could come a little lower. That would still be okay. So we need to get these, and see whether the pattern actually works the way we think it's going to work. And if not, we'll see how it actually works and what changes. Right. So Pong Yen, it's coming down. So we're probably going to make a bigger flat here, pretty much like all the yen pairs. If we get a flag here, this would become a sell to the bottom here, and then watch it go back to the top. So this would be like 1, 2, 3. Break this stop, and then actually start coming down. So we can literally move this a little more, because it will probably happen somewhere. By the time it gets here and go back up, it'll probably be there. So you could look for a flag to sell. We can put it, it's a valid trade. And New Zealand CAD we didn't look at. Oh yeah, we looked at it. I was just trying to get rid of that. So that's a buy setup you're actually looking at. Short-term buy setup. And then we'll see where that goes. I'm not sure where the hell that is and where this is. I'll take it off when we can. Is it part of the object tree? Let's see. Oh, not that one. This is one. Oh, they're just lines. I don't know what that is, so we'll leave it. We'll come back to that. Oh, come on. Let's go. We're looking at, well, we looked at UK oil already. We look at US oil, DAX. Let's see what DAX has. Okay, that's a sell. I think some of our traders in this sell. Somebody, we were asking what trades the traders were in before we come in. I think somebody, not DAX. Okay, sorry, that's one of the other ones here. So this sell is good. You're going to get a trade back to somewhere here, and then be careful. We'll be looking for the upside, possible. If it drops through this bottom, we're totally going down. So it's whether we're going to make a running flat here or whether we are actually going to go down totally. But the sell is a good one. The worst case, you're going to get break even. Bitcoin, for those of you who trade, we can, if you type which crypto you want me to look at, we'll look at those. Vic, for those guys on trading life, if they say which crypto they want, you put it for me, I would look at it. We'll look at Bitcoin and we look at Ethereum, and then you tell me what else you want to look at. So it's kind of pulling back right now. It's going up some more. I don't think until we break this up, I don't think we'll be looking for buy setups because we haven't broken the low. So just take this as a possible correction for downside. There is no buy. Something like this. Break through this top and then make a flag. That top is simply because this would become the first impulse, the correction will go. Which means you could still be in this whole sideways thing here until you get a flag above there for the upside. I want to confirm that flag is actually good. Ethereum. Let's see. Okay, this one is in a pretty strong, strong what we call channel for upside. When you see channel like this, they tend to break to the upside. So any flag you get here could be a buy. And any flag we get there could be a buy. XRP is going to be pretty much the same thing. We're looking for a buy setup if we get a flag here. So that should be good. FTM USDT. Let's look at those guys want anything inside there. In just and just INJUSDT. Okay, those are ones we don't have. So let's go. So these are all cryptos that we don't have on the Traders Asker. Let me see if we can do them really quick, and then we'll take some questions. FTM, let's see, FTM USDT. Somebody's asking for this one. Oh, come on. You see now with the charts. Let's start with this. I think we looked at this morning. I can see it's at the bottom there. We looked at it here, I think. Ah, no, that is FET, sorry. FTM. Right. What's the big picture? Come on, these charts are freezing up so much. Okay, I get it. So we kind of make this move up and we're coming down. Maybe running flat. I wouldn't probably go for running flat. Yes, I'll probably assume that this is making a running flat. So the next move, break the low or not, the next move is to the upside. So if we don't break the low, we're coming to retest this stop, go down one more, and then come for this stop. If we break the low, the chances are you're going all the way to the top there. Look for buy setups, pretty easy. Look for buy setups on this to the upside. I'll probably go to the 1 hour and look for an impulse and a flag and go with the trade. Right, you don't have that as yet. It's kind of coming down here. You can see you got another flat. It's making another flat. We're kind of channeling already to the downside. Let it break this low, make an impulse and a flag, go for the trade. Right. Let's see the next one. Somebody said, but the yen pairs look bullish to me. Well, I can't doubt what they look like to you, right? I'm telling you based on patterns, they probably have a little more up and then downside. The dollar yen has a little more up based on the patterns we're looking at, some more up, but then they're pretty high on the monthly and the weekly and the daily. So after that, we are expecting down moves on all the yen pairs for that matter of fact. Some more up, but that's it. The bullish that you're talking about, I think you're talking about them trending up, they're about to end. That trend is about to end and it's going to turn to the downside. Now, that's up to you if you want to challenge that or not. But ask the guy, the Bitcoin guy, when he challenged the tops the last time, what happened? Those are very strong tops. When they're at a daily, monthly top like that in a bigger cycle, it's pretty strong downside you can get. So based on the analysis we use, it's already telling us in advance. I can tell you a month in advance that they could probably go to about this level, breaking the tops there, and then you start looking for downside. It could take 2 months. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean we stop buying. Like I just showed you, you're going for a short sell, and then you're going to be buying it to the upside back. How come you're seeing sell on this pair? You have to say which pair that is, Bent, because by the time I read your message, I'm at the bottom of the whole thing. So you have to tell me which one. You can type that message again, which pair. I'll show you why. Can you do an analysis on the USD CAD? Yep, USD CAD is going up. I think I just did that. I just showed you the USD CAD on the daily. So this is the daily structure. See, so we're expecting this one to first come to this level here. Now, within this structure, they can come back. I don't think it will. I think it's going to break out. Now, when it breaks out of that structure, we're looking to break this one. And then from there, well, it's anybody's guess. When it reaches there, we'll come back to that discussion. Right? But breaking this one is definitely a must. Breaking this top. And by the time they break that top, I think we'll get to this one pretty soon. Because this looks like a 1, 2, 3, and this one is taking off. It's a bit slow. Yep, I'll agree, but then you never know. Starts taking off like a rocket very soon. So every buy setup you get in here, which is what we're doing, we're taking the buy setups. See? You notice I have arrows at the top here already preparing for that up move. So that's our forecast. That's how we do it. Next one. INJ-USDT. Let's see what that is. INJ-USDT. Okay, we're gonna go with the top one. And we're gonna see what that looks like. Let's go to the daily. I want to see daily structure. The charts are really slow today. What happened? It was good all morning. And now, okay, if this is all the charts you have, then we have a problem, because this is just one impulse and this is the top and this is the correction. And I don't think this is all the correction. So probably going to be stuck here for a while. This could go a little more, but then it would probably come back here. Start looking for sell setups if you get. Let's see in the 1 hour if we have anything. It could go a little higher, but it looks like we're going to be in that sideways for a while. You might start getting some sell setups here if you're short term. Wait for it to go back there and then look for a sell setup here. That might make sense. That might be the only trade I could. But since it's the whole structure is sideways, you might get both ways. Just wait for the setups for any direction, any specific direction. Can you do an analysis on XRP? It was very bullish some weeks ago. It will continue the trend. Oh, XRP, let's see. Take a look at it. We can look at the entire structure from the daily. Come on. Sorry, guys, the charts are really freezing up now. I have no idea why that is. So let's start from the daily. Bring it back to the weekly. We'll see the whole charts. I don't think this is all the charts. There should be more to this. Let's see if we can. Let me see if there's more charts that. This is all the charts.
All the chart.
Okay, let's see. They have more, right? Let's see. XRP. Come on. Okay, they have a lot of weird parts to it too. Like this doesn't exist, right? I don't like this chart. There are too many spikes that don't exist. So we're going to get ourselves in trouble. Let's find another one. What about Binance? Let's see if Binance has good charts. This has some of its own weird spikes. So the best one we can find, let's see this one, if they have their own feed.
Try XRP USDT on Poloniex, Anil.
The USDT one?
Yes, it's better. You have all the chart on Poloniex. USDT on Poloniex.
Okay, so let me update it. It's not searching for that one. Let's go here. XRP. Man, the computer's freezing up. So what the hell is wrong with these charts? XRP USDT. Okay, we almost got it, and it disappeared. And okay, we got it. Let's see. We want the Poloniex here, right? So let's see. Come on. Okay, yeah, this looks better. I would assume it came from here. I'm not sure whether this is true, but let's assume it came from the bottom here, which is close to 0. So we'll take all of this as the first move up, right? That's the first move up. And you're in here. See? That means we've got a move down. We've had a move up. We're getting a move down. We're getting a consolidation here, looking like a consolidation. Probably go back up some more in here. We'll probably come back here. We'll probably go back up there, come back here, and then go. We could be stuck sideways in this range for a very long time, which means this is a simple okay, there are a lot of new traders in here. So let me explain how wave analysis works. You start with the simplest possible pattern based on what you have. So what we have is 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. None of those are making a pattern. There isn't a single pattern in this thing. In the entire chart, we don't have a pattern. We have 1, two piece. That's all we have in the entire chart because we haven't broken the top or the bottom of this. This is a short lesson on wave analysis for you guys. But if you're looking inside of this one, we have another piece that we didn't break the top. We have another piece we didn't break the bottom. We have another. These are all making inside. So to have a pattern, you need 1, 2, 3. Remember that. A pattern is 1, 2, 3. Not 1, but 1, 2, 3. So the way this has to come and either break this top or come and break the low for us to have 1, 2, 3, right? It could be 1, 2, 3. Let me use a different color. Or it could be 1, 2, 3. So the question is, which one? Is it breaking the top or is it breaking the low? And I think that's your question, right? That's what everybody's asking. Are we going to go break the top or are we going to break the low? Now, because this one is so flat, I think we can all agree that that's about the flattest part you have in the entire chart, right? If you take a time span within this chart, you have a small flat there, correction there, you get corrections in these, you get corrections up, you get corrections. This is about the one that has the most time that is going really flat. Very often this tends to come downwards. Now, first thing it's going to do is going to break this low. That's the first thing if it goes down, when it goes down. And you're going to get 1, 2, 3. So the next question is, will it break this low? And there's no need to break that low, but it could break it. Because from here, it can go right back up there. And now you're going to have 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to come back here for 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to go up. And this is the simplest pattern that could form with what we have. This thing could get much more complex than that. And I'm not even going to go into the complex patterns that could form because I'm going to lose you. My traders will follow, but you're going to get lost of how complex this can develop. So let's work with that. Let's go down now. We want to know what's happening in here. So we go down to the 4 hours. Come on. And this is what we're saying. When I was telling you that we're going to get a bullish move up, we were talking about move like these, move like these. So for the fellow who was making noise the other day that you said it's going to go up and it's coming down, or he said it's going to go up and I said it's going to, I don't know what was his point, but he was making some noise for no reason. Basically, what we'd say is when they do this and they do this, they'll do that. When they do this and they do this, they'll come here. When you start to do this and you do this and you do this and you go there and we saw this and we saw that, eventually you have to get this. So eventually this would have to happen. Now, that will only happen when this is finished. So this can make another one up and then come back for that. And when you complete that, there's a very good chance you could still go back up one more before you drop. And all of that would not change anything in the bigger structure that I just showed you. All it's going to change is how this pattern in here behaves. Now, we could make an argument that this was all a correction, that these are slow impulses, right? So maybe not. It's very simple. What you're going to do when you come here now, let me see if I can squeeze that. I can't squeeze it more. What you're going to do here is you're going to look for, from the top coming down, sell setups. From the bottom going up, buy setups. So let's say this is a pullback for a buy. You just need an impulse, you need a correction, and you trade that to see if it breaks the top. It doesn't necessarily have to break the top. It might just do like this and do like this, and then you said, okay, well, forget about the buy. Take off the buy, let's go for the sell. Because the sell should break this low. And if the sell breaks through that low, it's coming here, like this. It could come with a correction here and another correction here, but then it's coming here. If we see this similar to this, then there's a very good chance we're going to go back up one more. And again, we'll wait for the setup for the trade. But this thing eventually is going to drop beyond that low. Now, is it starting that drop? Well, I don't know. That's the thing about wave analysis. You don't have to know that. You just have to see if this starts to consolidate here, and you go with the sell. So the number one thing you should learn as a trader, and I think most traders don't know this because you're fed false information, is that you do not control the outcome. You control the process. You have control over the process of trading, not the outcome of the trade. So trading is about a process. If you follow the right process with the right analysis, with the right money management, with the right trade management, and you follow that process religiously, understanding what you're doing in every step of it, the outcome for you will be positive in the long term. But the outcome of any given trade is unknown. But if you're using a good method of analysis, ones that can make forecasts, gives you very good accuracy. If you're good at, if you have a really great strategy as to how you're going to take advantage of that. And then if it doesn't go your way, you have good money management rules of how you're going to get a hell out of it when it's not going your way to minimize your loss. I think you're on the right track to be successful. And that's what we do when we trade in our room. We teach our traders how to do the number one most important thing, analyze the chart and make forecasts, because without that, anything else you have is wasting your time. If you can't tell if it's going to go up or it's going to go down, then you're guessing. If you have a method that allows you to make that analysis and puts the edge, take out guessing and give you an edge in it, then that's all you need, right? That is all you need. You need a timetable when you're going to catch the train, the bus, or the plane. Because if there was no timetable, you would be sitting at the airport waiting for whenever the next plane is going to go your direction. And that would be a guesswork. You might be there a week and there might be no plane going that direction. That's why they give you a timetable. That's the edge for you to be there at the right time and the right place, right? Same thing with trading. You just can't wait for some pin bar or something to do what you think it's going to do. You have to understand how structure behave, how the market itself will behave, where it's likely going. What makes you think it's likely going to go that direction? How do you know it's changing the direction? What if you think it's going to go down, but then you see a change in direction? And if you're following any of my webinar at any given time, you would see me say that like a million times. You might not notice that that's what I'm saying because you don't understand structure. My traders would know immediately and said, okay, this is a very short-term sell. Once it hits this level, we break this low or break that top, you got to get the hell out of the trade or move your stop because we're expecting it to go the opposite direction from that point. See? So they have a timetable. They don't have to guess. They have a pretty great understanding of how structure is going to behave. If structure behaves that way, you take advantage of it. If structure does not behave that way, well, not your day, you don't care about it, you're not in the trade. Right? If there is no plane, then you don't have to worry. If you go and the flight get canceled, that's not the end of the world. You're just not on the flight. It canceled. But you know the next one is going to go. So that's the whole thing. That when you see these and you're trying to get these trades, these sharp ones that we're getting, we get this set up, we see if they go. If it doesn't go, let's say I was looking for a buy here. I don't know. I was looking for this to go up and I had an entry order and it didn't go up. Let me pick a spot where it didn't go up. Let's say I was looking at this and I was thinking, you know what? This is going to break to the upside. So I put an entry order here. Should this take off? I'm in the trade. Well, it doesn't take off. It dropped to the bottom. Who cares? Literally, who cares? That doesn't bother me. That should never bother me because I'm not looking for the sell and I didn't get the sell. Well, okay, the next time I get it, right? The next time when I see this, I get it. That's the whole point. You're not going to get it every time, but you're going to get it the majority of time. So if you follow the process, come back to where I started. If you have rules and methods of how you're going to follow the process, you're in the right track. Now, just having the rules and the method and a series of video is not going to make you a trader. Because this trading is a skill. You have to practice it. And practicing means you need somebody to be watching you while you're practicing to correct the mistakes you're making because you're going to make a hell of a lot of mistakes. I don't care how many of you think you're pretty good at this. I make mistakes. So we all make mistakes. And if you get a group of traders with you, we're going to say, hey, you may want to relook at this one. Or you may want to, you're thinking about a buy, but I see a sell setup. Let's look at it and see where the difference is, why we see it differently. And then you'll probably you can come to a pretty great consensus on the way direction is going to go. If you can't figure it out, guess what? Both of you leave the trade alone until it tells you which direction is going. So We have a very vibrant group that does that on a daily basis. I come in the morning and I'm amazed the way they analyze charts and taking trades and actively doing the work. Right? So, and these guys are there with experience and knowledge and to help you when you join us. So let's go. That's a very long talk just to tell you how to understand wave analysis, because there's a lot of traders in here who do not understand wave analysis. And they feel that when I said, okay, we're expecting an up here and it doesn't go, oh my God, look, he said it's going to go up and it doesn't go. This guy has no idea what he's talking about, right? So you would find that pretty often. And it's funny because I don't know what their point in doing it. Oh, what happened to all my charts? It's gone upside down. Let's go. Good, got it back. We won the Aussie, New Zealand, Swiss, right? New Zealand, Swiss. Let's see. Okay, like this one. I'm saying to my traders, you can take this sell if you want, but I probably wouldn't sell it. And I would tell them that plain, because you know what? I think I like the upside. I think we're about to get an up trade here, and I actually like the upside. So I'll just skip on the sell and let's see if we get the buy setup. Now, right now it's a sell setup. There is a flag there to go. Okay, now it's frozen. Gotta wait a few seconds. Yeah, this is not good. I know why it's been good. So right now, this is a flag for a sell setup. If you're looking at this, you're thinking this should break. But flags like this, see this flag here? Let me go back to the yellow. Yeah, see this flag here? See that one, see this one? This should drop here. But because we're so low and we're already low and we're expecting this move up, it might just drop, break the low, and start to go back up. I'll prefer get the buy setup because the risk to reward on the downside is you'd have to put an entry here. You'll have to put a stop here, and you might just target this. So let it happen, and then when it does this and it make a flag here, we're putting an entry here to target that top. Will we get the top? I don't know. We don't always get it. Most times we don't even get the top. You come here, it stop, it go there, it stop it. But then you get 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trade, 4 trades, and it adds up. Right? That's the whole point. So where are we going? We're going to this top. Let's see if we get it. By the end of the week, it might happen. You never know. And you might watch us do it. So that's it. Let's go. Okay, guys, I think we've been on for a long time. I don't want to make them too long. These webinars are going to be extremely long. You learn something at the end. For those of you who stay on to the end, you do learn something. Those people who will be watching the video to the end will learn something. So see all of you tomorrow, London and New York. We're going to be on more often, but you'll see us in London and New York. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Share the videos if you like them, and have a great evening or a great day wherever you are. Thank you. Bye. Okay, this thing is taking a very long time to close.